Please welcome our host for the 2017 Twitch Cosplay Contest, Anna Prosser-Robinson.
Thank you guys, and welcome to the second Twitch Cosplay Contest. I'm your host, Anna Prosser-Robinson, and I'm so excited to be hosting this event again. It's a huge privilege. Last year was our first cosplay contest at TwitchCon, and we saw some incredible costumes. Our finalists played with light and smoke and pushed characters to inhuman heights, added limbs and wings, and of course, reproduced our favorite characters from the video games and series we love. This year, we have some amazing cosplay, but before we have our finalists walk the stage, let's meet our judges. First up, please welcome Hoku Props. Hoku Props is a prop maker and digital artist. Hoku designs props and costumes in 3D and uses an array of tools and techniques to bring them to life. He's known for his Lionheart costume and larger-than-life work, and his Lionheart was grand prize winner from last year's cosplay contest. You remember that?
Thank you.
Now, Hoku Props, what is it like to be back on the stage in the judges' seat this time?
Oh, it's super exciting to be back here. You know, last year was such a wonderful time for me, and such a just explosion of creativity, and then having Twitch as a venue to do that was it was wonderful.
And what did it feel like? Tell us about that moment when you were awarded that grand prize.
You know, there's this picture of me receiving the trophy last year where I just looked like a total idiot. And it was really the essence of that photo kind of is how I felt at the time. It's just, my emotions were completely overwhelmed. So, you know, it was wonderful.
Well, and tell us about your cosplay today.
So this year I am cosplaying as Uther Lightbringer from the World of Warcraft. Thank you. So I've been working with a good pal of mine, Zach Fisher, who's a cosplay kind of concept designer, and we really wanted to revive the character. You know, he was the original paladin, the original hero of the game, and so it was somebody that I kind of really wanted to do. So here we are.
And you look fantastic, doesn't he?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Hoku Props. And now it's time to bring out our second judge, Alpaca Ash. Alpaca Ash is a 3D video game artist who loves creating cosplay using sewing, embroidery, and 3D printing. She's known for her astrologian in the needlework category from last year's cosplay contest, which I'm sure you remember as well. Hello, Alpaca Ash.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Doing good. Trying to get in.
Yeah, you've got quite a skirt there. What are you cosplaying?
So today I'm cosplaying Princess Ovelia from Final Fantasy Tactics.
And why is that a character that appeals to you?
I'm sorry?
Why is that a character that appeals to you?
Final Fantasy Tactics is just such a classic game, and I've loved it for years. I remember buying a figure of Delita from the same game, and I'd always wanted Ovelia's figure for so long because I loved her design, and just a beautiful dress, and capes are super fun. So,
they are.
Yes, so.
And how does it feel to be on the judges' side of a cosplay contest this year at TwitchCon?
It's really amazing, just seeing all of the creativity. It's being on the judges' side, it's a little less nerve-wracking because you're able to just sit, see what everybody's done. I mean, even learn some things, see different point of view of how to approach different. Just problem solving is just so cool to see how everybody approaches everything. So it's very eye-opening and just inspiring.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see them. I know you guys got a preview earlier, so
yes.
Let's go ahead. Thank you, Alpaca Ash. Guys, let's hear it one more time for our second judge.
I'm gonna have to scoot over, I think.
Yeah.
And now it's time to meet our third judge, Vert Vixen. Please welcome her to the stage. Woo! Vert Vixen specializes in creating epic art and costumes with a focus on using digital sculpting and 3D modeling for 3D printing. Her passion lies in creating the most epic art and costumes possible, whether it's 3D or foam. And Vert Vixen won the second place in the Twitch Cosplay Contest last year in her Shard Mortal Trespasser cosplay from the Court of the Dead. You guys remember that one? It was fantastic. Vert Vixen, tell us about your cosplay today.
I'm dressed as Garrison from Battle Chasers, a gender bend version. I can talk.
You've had a lot on your plate today. You guys have been up since early previewing the cosplay, right?
Yes, there are so many insanely amazing costumes this year. I'm so glad I competed last year.
As someone who did compete last year, what is it like to look at those costumes and kind of what are you looking for in these cosplay?
So I'm kind of I'm a super detail person. I mean, we all were. We were all right up on them, looking at everything. I wanted to see the paint job, the finishes. I wanted to know exactly all the different techniques and materials that were used. And I can tell you right now that everybody seriously stepped up their game this year. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited to see it. Oh, thank you. Everyone, one more hand for Vert Vixen, please. Yay. And now, finally, please join me in welcoming our final judge, Vampy Bitney. Vampy Bitney is a cosplayer, huge Gundam nerd, and a tiny metalhead that loves being an otaku. She's known as a cosplay legend who has dabbled in anime, video games, and comics. There is nothing she can't do. We're so happy to have you, Vampy Bitney.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What is it that you've brought with you here?
What was it?
What have you brought with you?
Meat.
Obviously.
Yes, I brought meat.
Tell us
if I get hungry or I need
cosplay.
stamina. So yeah, like Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a Monster Hunter, so.
And
you guys like Monster Hunter? Yeah? I do too, obviously. But yeah, like I really like the game.
Yeah?
That's about it. Yeah.
Great. And tell me a little bit, you're someone who has made cosplay your life. Tell me a little bit about judging other people in cosplay.
To be quite honest with you, I think that all of us have made, well, cosplay is life.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of your life every day. And it's like, it's probably, the thing that brings me the most joy. Just like they said, like learning and also creating and then also becoming the character that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I cosplay and that's why I love it.
I am so excited to see these bring their characters to life. Guys, let's hear it one more time for our panel of judges. Meet.
All right, I'll put it right here.
And now let's also give a round of applause, of course, to all of the amazing artists that have been a part of this cosplay contest. Everyone who entered. Let's give them a round of applause. We may have selected our finalists already, but all of the artists made these some of the toughest decisions that we've ever had to make. We thank all of the applicants from the bottom of our hearts. But without further ado, let's get to the contest. What do you say? Our contestants will be competing in one of 4 categories. The first is needlework, and that's cosplay constructed primarily by sewing, stitching, embroidery, and the manipulation of cloth or textiles. The second category is the FX category. This is all about cosplay that features special effects, including animatronics, optical effects, mechanical effects, and special effects makeup, which looks really cool. Our third category is armor. As the title suggests, this is cosplay constructed primarily by molding and shaping its outer layers using acrylic, EVA foam, Warbla, Wonderflex, cardboard, whatever you need into stunning pieces of armor. And then finally, we have the larger-than-life category. That's all about cosplay that's just giant. To qualify, cosplay in this category encloses the maker and extends their limbs by at least 1 foot in length. It's huge. They're just super big. All of our contestants' work will be judged by the following criteria. First, the quality of the techniques demonstrated. Next, the materials and material resourcefulness. The functionality of the cosplay. And lastly, the cosplay's aesthetics. But let's not forget about the prizes. This year, we've made the prize pool even bigger than last year. In total, we're giving away $70,000.
A lot of money.
What?
I'm really excited about that. Each category individually will award $1,000 to its winner. And then all of the cosplayers will also be competing for the grand prizes, with awards for first through third places. Third place will win $4,000, second place will take home $8,000, and the grand prize winner will walk away with an incredible $15,000. That's going to go a long way for some glue and foam, I think. So, what do you say? Are you guys ready to see your finalists? Me too. Let's get started with our first category, which is needlework. And Alpaca Ash, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. I know you guys are kind of set there. Do you want to sit and talk, or do you want to come up and stand here with me?
I probably should sit. It was kind of hard to get back here.
I think you guys are good there. Let's see you there. So tell me a little bit about needlework in cosplay. I know that's something that you work a lot with.
Yeah, my general go-to is fabric. It's the material that I'm most comfortable with. As judges, what we like to look for in needlework is general use of your materials. With fabric, you can use one kind of fabric, and then you have to do certain techniques for that, but then completely different techniques for another kind. So stretch material needs something else versus something like satin. Ball gowns are way different from working with leather. So a lot of it is seeing how they handle materials in the best way that they can, and just fit is a really good thing we look for. Just even manipulation of fabric. There's so many cool things you can do with fabric, and there's just magicry you can do by making a ball gown, or as you'll see, there's all kinds of just wonderful techniques you've seen with the contestants today. There's leather work, there's ball gowns, there's even casting involved with also the same outfit. So there's a lot of really cool mix of materials. It's really fun to watch. And another important thing is just finishing. A very important thing with fabric is finishing it. Making sure it's sturdy and can handle a lot of abuse.
Cool. So
Yeah.
if somebody isn't familiar with cosplay and they're here kind of looking at costumes for the first time, what are some of the simple things that a layperson might look for that can wow them if they don't know cosplay very well?
I think some of my favorite things to look at are the base is always really important. If you're working from a really just nicely clean base and then adding detail. My favorite is detail. So embroidery is one of my favorite things, as far as applique as well, as when you attach fabric in designs on top of another just regular piece of fabric. That is very difficult to do, and it's really cool to see people doing really crazy stuff. Also a lot of hand stitching. Like I mentioned leather. Leather is very difficult to work with. And just being able to get something nice and clean with that is also very, very impressive to see. I think.
Great. Well, we're ready to check it out, and that means that it's time for our first finalist. Are you guys excited? All right. Let's bring our first finalist out. Everyone put your hands together for Athena's Adventures. Athena's Adventures cosplay is called Let Them Eat Cake, and is inspired by Marie Antoinette and, believe it or not, by cake. It's an original concept, creating a late 1700s French dress that looked as much like an iced cake as possible. It was created with custom silicone molds to make foam pieces for the icing, and custom designed iron-on vinyl to create the pattern on the back of the dress. Athena's Adventures, everyone! And let them eat cake! Thank you, Athena's Adventures. Our next finalist is Casey Renee Cosplay. Casey Renee Cosplay is cosplaying as Anne Boleyn, wife of Henry VIII, as portrayed on the show Tudors. Casey Renee has spent over 200 hours designing, sewing, and beading this replica of Anne Boleyn's gown from the 1530s. She has created 6 garments, a headpiece, and jewelry to help bring this historical figure to life. That is Casey Renee Cosplay as Anne Boleyn. Next up, we have Hikiko Muri as Princess Zelda. This incarnation of Zelda is her favorite, and she's excited to finally cosplay her. The dress is made of a medium weight, dull sheen satin, and it looks amazing. Hikiko Muri as Princess Zelda. Our next needlework finalist is the Ronin Cosplay. The Ronin Cosplay is cosplaying as Kratos from God of War 4. The God of War has returned, clad in leather and toting a new axe. May vengeance be his. Ronin Cosplay built this entirely from leather, wood making, 3D modeling, and resin casting within a 2-month time frame, all while losing over 30 pounds in order to cosplay the God of War. Collectively, the outfit weighs just above 50 pounds, featuring 8 different hides and real red wood. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ronin Cosplay as Kratos. And your last finalist in the needlework category is Mira Scarlet. Mira Scarlet is dressed as Saber from Fate Grand Order. Mira Scarlet is a self-taught seamstress, and Saber has always been a dream cosplay of hers. The costume can be worn as a dress or go into full-blown King of Knights mode. The entire costume, including undergarments, were made by Mira Scarlet, except for the sword. Let's hear it for Mira Scarlet as Saber. And there you have it. That's your 5 needlework finalists. Now, Alpaca Ash, what did you see there? What should people be thinking about from those cosplay?
Well, one of my favorite things about fabric is the fact that while you're building up structure, you're also getting movement as well. And a lot of the costumes here just move so wonderfully and just look amazing on stage while they're being worn. So that's one of my favorite things, and just all of the detail that you can see, so much detail up close and from far away. There's just a huge range here. So it's just wonderful to see.
It really, really is cool. Did you guys enjoy those? Well, don't worry. We have tons more. Thank you very much for your insight, Alpaca Ash, and good luck to all of our needlework finalists. But now it's time to move on to our second category, which is FX. These are the costumes that really focus on flashy extra touches like LEDs, smoke, and moving parts. And Vampy, I know that you have some experience with this. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what we're looking for here?
I'm putting my shoulder together real quick. Yes, so I build a lot of Gundams in general, and I love Gundams. So my first LED project was interesting. Because at first I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna add some lights. No. It's a lot of research, like any other thing that you do, like with cosplay, fabric, you know, all of this stuff that you do, you have to do your research. So I think that after I researched, like, I would say 50 hours, I kind of got the gist of lighting. But then, of course, as time goes by, you get better. But I mean, pretty much like, it's not just lighting, it's makeup, prosthetics, learning how to apply them properly, sculpting. So there's a lot of things. And I used to, like 10 years ago, I was a union. So I did some special effects. So it was really nice. But I haven't been using too much special effects except for lighting in my costume. So
Tell us a little bit about, as people who are watching that might not be familiar with cosplay, a lot of this just kind of looks like magic. Like how on earth would you put a light into a costume?
Oh, well, it's magic, kind of. How do what was it?
Yeah, so the question is just kind of, what are some of the things that, I mean, are people toting battery packs? How do they generate smoke? What are some of the things that people can watch for here and be like, oh, wow, I never knew how they did that?
At every competition, I learn something new, all of us do. And us judges always get wowed by some of the things that they do with the stuff that we also have. So you're gonna see it very soon. But smoke, coming from what areas and from what, and like they make it look so natural. And for us, we're even wowed. So you'll see soon.
Great.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's really
can't wait to
cool.
see it. Thank you so much for your insight,
No
Vampy.
problem.
And now, without delaying things any further, let's see our FX category finalists. Very first up in the FX category, we have Danny, California. Danny, California is cosplaying Kha'Zix from League of Legends. Danny tells us that this cosplay is a gender bend of a champion from League of Legends. Though Kha'Zix is originally a bug character from the Void, Danny, California has designed this cosplay as a humanoid female. The design has many special effects, including LEDs, vibrant plexiglass, a resin cast blade, and an eye-catching, color-changing paint job. The paint changes color depending on the angle and the light. And with a wingspan of over 5 feet and weighing over 75 pounds, this is by far Danny, California's biggest cosplay ever. One more time, please give it up for Danny, California as Kha'Zix. Next up, please welcome Egg Sisters Cosplay. As you will see, Egg Sisters is cosplaying as the Necromancer from Diablo 3 in their Trag'Oul set. The goal of this cosplay is to make the armor look as though it is living, breathing, and pumping blood through its veins. The crown, skull mask, shoulders, shoulder hearts, chest, and abdomen are sculpted from clay, molded, and then cast in resin. Those sections have been painted and lit to look like tissue embedded with blood-flowing veins. The shoulders animate like beating hearts. Various gems have been molded with LEDs to embellish the armor, which is made from EVA foam and painted to look like metal. The skull has been painted to look like tissue and bone. Looks amazing. One more time, please put your hands together for Egg Sisters Cosplay as the Necromancer. Our next FX finalist is Hendo Art. Hendo Art is cosplaying as Samus from Metroid. Hendo spent a month on stream making this suit of armor. It's primarily made from EVA foam as well as craft foam, Warbler, Yurcoat, Math, Patience, and just a few of his own tears. Hendo tells us it took a lifetime to wire the costume, hide switches, calculate resistance, and all without burning herself. Ladies and gentlemen, Hendo Art as Samus! Our next FX category cosplayer is Miss Kit Quinn. Please welcome Miss Kit Quinn. Miss Kit Quinn is cosplaying as Hades from the Disney film Hercules. The base skirt has tubing inside each tendril that delivers a smoke effect from a fog machine located inside the costume. Makeup includes hand-sculpted chin and cheek prosthetics, which are pulled in foam latex, along with sculpted front teeth for Hades' pointed grin. The color-changing LED hairpiece is comprised of around 8 feet of LEDs cut into smaller strips, soldered together, and attached to a solid skull cap. The flaming hair is made from various types of heat-formed theatrical diffusions. One more time, give it up for Miss Kit Quinn as Hades! And our final FX category cosplayer is Intraventus. Intraventus is a blood elf from World of Warcraft. Intraventus' costume is all made from black Warbler. As you will see, there are also quite a few LEDs. Mold castings and a motorized smoke machine that breathes out of the dragon. As you can see, it takes a lot to move in a costume like this, and every detail is so important. That is an amazing blood elf Let's hear it one more time for Intraventus as a Blood Elf. Vampy, those were some pretty impressive effects.
Yeah, they were. We were really impressed with. I mean, the thing is, like, generally you would think, okay, costume. Like when I was younger, I was like, oh, just costume fabric. No, like when you really get into cosplay, you start learning about all your materials, and you're just like, I can do this, I can do that, I can be anything. And literally, they did anything. And with all their materials, they mixed all of like fabric, you know, sculpting, smoke. You saw that, right? Yeah. That was crazy. It was like a even, like all the smoke was like super even, and just like figuring all that stuff out is pretty genius, and I think it's really cool. So props to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Props to our FX finalists. Wow. All right, it's already time to move on to our third category, which is armor. This category pretty much just explains itself, so let's get right into it with our first finalist. Please welcome Little Sparks. Woo! Little Sparks is dressed as Arthas from World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm. This is a gender bend of the Mystic Kingdom's Arthas skin from Heroes of the Storm. The armor is made from EVA foam. Each dragon is made from individual pieces of foam glued together for thickness and then sanded into shape with a rotary tool. They are then assembled, primed with wood glue, and painted with acrylic paint. The leather sleeve is created from vinyl cut into Ys, woven together, and then hand painted. The costume has taken over 300 hours to create and was all streamed on Twitch. One more time, let's give it up for Little Sparks. Next up, we have Modulus Props. Modulus Props is dressed as a Star Wars Samurai Sandtrooper. Woo! In a series of collectible figurines produced by Bandai, Tamashii Nation's several iconic Star Wars characters have been reimagined with traditional samurai armor and weaponry. This samurai stormtrooper costume was modeled closely after the Bandai figure. Nick built the costume entirely from scratch using a variety of materials and techniques, including EVA foam fabrication, clay, sculpting, silicone modeling, resin casting, 3D printing, and garment sewing. Let's give another big round of applause to Modulus Props. Our next cosplayer in the armor category is Shepherd of Men. Shepherd of Men is cosplaying as Varian Wynn from World of Warcraft. This is a real-life representation of the iconic King of Stormwind. The design was created in ZBrush and printed on a 3D printer. All of the armor pieces are made out of EVA foam, painted with rattle cans and hand-painted golden trim with acrylic paint. All sewing, 3D models, 3D prints, pattern, foam armor, sculpting, and chainmail were created and made by Shepherd. Everything from this costume was created from scratch. Let's hear it for Shepherd of Men as Varian Wynn. Next up is Shino X Art. Shino X Art is the Dread King Rathalos armor set from Monster Hunter Generations. The armor for this cosplay was constructed out of EVA foam entirely, save for the brooch and crown, which are made from Warbla. All armor pieces are textured with a wood burner to add tangible depth. The designs on the fabric were hand-drawn and hand-painted with fabric paint. This set will also feature a sword and shield set with a similar spike features and LEDs to simulate lava. Ladies and gentlemen, Shino X Art! And the last finalist for the armor category is Bjorn's Workshop. Bjorn's Workshop is wearing the stag armor from Guild Wars 2. Bjorn has been leatherworking for 3 years and cosplaying for 2. Leatherwork, blown glass, 3D printing, foam, fabric, and paint, dye, and airbrush work all come together to bring the stag armor from Guild Wars 2 to life. Nearly 70 pounds of real leather armor, handcrafted using traditional tools and techniques, bring an old world touch to the shining new world of cosplay. More than 500 hours clocked on this build so far, with 80% of that being streamed on Twitch. One last time, give it up for Bjorn's Workshop. Thank you, Bjorn's Workshop. So Vert Vixen, we didn't get to check in with you at the beginning of this armor category, and I wanted to get your thoughts on armor as something that people work on in cosplay. What's important to look at when you're seeing armor cosplay?
There's so many things, because nowadays there's so many different ways to make armor, and there's no wrong way, right? I mean, we just saw here, we saw leather, we saw foam, warbler, 3D printing, molding, and casting, and it's absolutely incredible. So it's hard to completely say, right? But the reality is some things that I look for is a clean finish. I look for the materials to look as they're supposed to look, highly detailed paint jobs, and it can't hurt. There's like, some little extra effects going on, maybe some sewing added in and some other things like that, because it's really great to see a completely well-rounded costume. And I have to say, that is all we had today.
Absolutely.
Freaking amazing.
And we saw a lot of costumes that had so many hours put into them, hundreds of hours. Tell the people at home who might not be super familiar with fabrication what goes into making something like armor. What kind of tools are you using? How much time does it take? What kind of space do you need? What goes into that?
So I have to start that out by saying it really depends on what material you're working with, the space that you have to work with, because you can actually do some surprising things in some tiny spaces. And I completely almost 100% forgot your question.
That's okay. We're talking a lot about streaming on Twitch, and I know a lot of people watch cosplayers on Twitch and think, I would love to make something like that. So I was looking for the answer you just gave, which is that, you work with what you have, right?
Right, you really do. And like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. There's several ways to do it, and it's always about the hours and the love that's put into it. And I think at the end of the day, that's really 100% what matters. Is you may put 500 hours into a costume, but that's 500 hours of passion and love. And it's not a waste of time, in my opinion. It's one of the best things that you can do. You're creating a beautiful work of art to share with everybody, and that's like the best thing.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And now let's get into our final category for the contest, which, as you know, is larger than life. These costumes can be many things, but they're all big. And Hoka Props, you know a lot about larger than life. Tell us you. Tell us a little bit about the larger than life category. What goes into making something that's just huge and then wearing it?
A lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. I think my mustache might fall.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's all good. So if you're trying to build a costume, is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Is it going? Why don't we just do this?
Just rip it off. Do it. Just do it. Do it. Yeah.
Now I'm young Uther. Hey. How's everyone doing? So when you're trying to build a costume on that scale, you have to really take into consideration all of the logistical issues that are kind of brought forth. Last year I wasn't even able to get on stage.
Yeah.
Although I did keep telling them, I could probably just step off the stage. They kept trying to get me to go up the ramp. But so what I wanted to do last year, and this is something that, maybe I'm segueing your question.
That's great.
But what I look for and what I want to see is I want to see people, when they're building these larger-than-life characters, be characters, actually be able to move, actually be able to talk, actually be able to communicate, really to cosplay the character and not just be this overbearing statue that stands there and can't really do much. And so, that's what I set out to do last year with Lionheart, and I feel like I succeeded.
Yeah.
And, so that's what I want to see more of.
Great. I think we're going to see some success there today as well in this competition. So let's get right into it. All right. Let's welcome our first larger-than-life finalist. It's Cow Butt Crunchies. They're here in a costume inspired by the work of artist Sakizu Arts. This outfit showcases difficult techniques from all 4 categories.
Yeah. They're nuts.
The needlework portion includes hand stitching as well as embroidery that was custom designed to match the reference. The embroidery has been hand beaded with nearly 1,000 pearls, and the lace has been airbrushed to match. All the armor pieces are constructed from Warbler with detailed embellishments covering the entire set. The articulating wings are made of 2,000 feathers, which required 30 feet of aluminum, 10 pulleys, and 3 different motors that were installed and wired to work with a remote. It's pretty incredible, huh? Give another round of applause to Cow Butt Crunchies! Next, we have Evil Cosplay. Evil Cosplay is Sylvanas from Heroes of the Storm. All of this armor is made from a combination of Warbler, EVA foam, expanding insulation foam, and pink insulation foam. It was all finished using Flex Bond and painted by hand with paint brushes to give it a unique paint job. The costume also includes a custom bodysuit and leather work in the boots, gloves, cloak, and shoulders. The costume has been a true labor of love with over 500 hours of work. Let's put our hands together for Evil Cosplay! Our next larger-than-life finalist is Fort Girl. Fort Girl is dressed as Lady Deathwing from World of Warcraft. Inspired by the character redesign from Zach Fisher Art, Fort Girl is a Twitch Creative streamer focusing mainly on cosplay and props. For the legs and feet here, she used art from the game for reference and made digitigrade stilts to give the illusion of dragon legs. They look pretty amazing, don't they? One more time, ladies and gentlemen, for Fort Girl as Lady Deathwing. Up next to the stage is Making It Up. Let's welcome Making It Up to the stage. Making It Up is wearing the power armor from Fallout 4. This is a full-size Fallout 4 T-60 suit of power armor. This costume was designed to be as accurate as possible to the game model, both in size and design. The costume has been 3D printed, finished, molded, and cast in fiberglass. The pivot action stilts were crafted from welded steel, making it easier to move when in the costume. Let's hear it for Making It Up in that Fallout 4 power armor. And here we go, folks. Your final finalist. Please welcome to the stage, SKS Props. SKS Props is the Theron Guard from Gears of War 4. Stephen K. Smith, aka SKS Props, is a seasoned member of the Replica Prop Forum and a pro builder on the site Instructables. He had been a freelance illustrator for 15 years, working on newspapers, magazines, and children's books. And in 2012, he put his artistic abilities to a new medium, creating extremely detailed cosplay props and costumes. He's now known worldwide for his skill in bringing characters to life through cosplay. His Twitch channel strives to provide artistic content that can be utilized throughout the cosplay community. One last time, let's give a round of applause for SKS Props. Now, the judges obviously have a hard task here. You guys have to judge all of these amazing costumes, and I just want to give them all prizes. What about you?
Yeah.
Real hard.
Well, you guys are going to need some time to deliberate. So I am going to take a little stroll backstage to talk to some of our contestants and show you a little bit about what it looks like back here. So you guys deliberate. We're going to just walk over here, and you guys kind of get a bonus sneak peek of production. think let's go back here. Yeah. Hold on, I'll be right back. Don't worry.
I think our mics are off.
Yeah.
Where are we? Back here. Hello. How's it going?
It's going fantastic.
How was it on stage?
It's awesome. It's absolutely phenomenal. Incredible, incredible crowd. Incredible TwitchCon. Life doesn't get any better.
And you know, you were moving around pretty well in all of this, but I think it weighs a ton, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's the prompt says like 70 pounds. I think it's closer to 90 now that it's.
Jeez. Are you tired?
Oh, I'm exhausted. It's been a long day, but it's been one of the best days of my life.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. And I think we get to talk to Samus over here as well. Thank you so much. Now, we're going back over here. We're going back over here. All right. Awesome. I am not certain what directions I'm getting, but you guys all look amazing. I could sit here and I could stare at you all over. I'm sorry. I don't know what they're saying to me, so hello. Thank you. Look at all these amazing people back here, and I am going to go head back on stage, I believe. Awesome. All right, we're going back on stage. I hope the judges have had enough time to deliberate. All right, thank you guys. Now, are you guys ready? Okay, good. Fantastic. Because it's time to give out some awards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now, our first award will be the winner of the needlework category. Let's bring all of our needlework finalists out on stage now. It's going to take them a little bit. They've got a lot of moving to do. Thank you so much. Needlework finalists, you all look so impressive, and we're so thankful for all the time you put into your costumes. We enjoyed them so much. Now it's time to crown a winner. Now, judges, I have a card here that says your needlework winner, and I am so excited to announce that the category winner is the Ronin Cosplay! Congratulations, Ronin Cosplay! And one more round of applause for all of our needlework finalists. All right, thank you. Needlework finalists, please go head backstage as we bring out our next category. Thank you one more time. Now, it's time to bring out our FX finalists. Let's welcome them back to the stage. Now, judges, while we're waiting for them to come up, the FX finalists were very impressive. How hard was the decision to choose who was the winner?
That was really hard. Very, very hard.
Yeah.
There were many times where someone would leave the room, and I'm just like, this keeps getting harder and harder.
Yeah. What kind of discussions did you have to have in order to choose a winner?
Well, so today's winner for needlework, Ronin, something that we really loved about
Come on up, guys.
costume
Come on up.
was he didn't use, not only did he use fabric, but he also used leather. He did embroidery, he did prop work, he did 3D printing, and all of it looked amazing. Just a wonderful variety of materials and techniques that just were wonderfully polished. So he did it, and he painted himself. That's hard.
Yes, it is. And now, look at all this hard work on display. These are our FX finalists. Now it's time to announce the winner. The judges have chosen, in the category of FX, Miss Kit Quinn! Congratulations, Miss Kit Quinn! And one more round of applause for all of our FX finalists. Thank you, and you guys may leave the stage. Thank you very much for your hard work. Now, next, it's time to bring out the finalists for our third category, let's bring out the armor finalists. Wow. Look at all that hard work. In the armor category, the judges have chosen as the winner, Little Sparks. Congratulations, Little Sparks, and to all of our armor finalists. Farewell, you may leave the stage. Thank you so much. Now, let's bring out our fourth category, the larger-than-life finalists, and it's going to take them a moment to get out here. I know they've got a lot of costume to move. Now, judges, as you worked with larger-than-life and you looked at these costumes, was there anything that particularly blew your mind in terms of the techniques that they're using this year?
Those wings.
There were a lot of
Those wings were
amazing
pretty cool.
extensions.
And then, just seeing everybody getting around and actually able to walk and not slip and not fall. And,
Yep.
It's, good for you guys. I'm so happy. That was my big fear last year. Don't fall.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
falling is one to
Knocking on
avoid.
wood.
The fact that these people have this type of mobility in these costumes just blows my mind.
Yeah, and Hoku Props, you were saying that one of the biggest things you're looking for is that these aren't just statues, they're moving, living characters.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing here for sure. And now it's time to reveal our winner in the category of larger than life. It is Cow Butt Crunchies. Thank you to all of our larger than life finalists. You may leave the stage, and thank you so much for all of your hard work.
Oh my gosh.
Farewell and thank you. You guys may leave the stage. Let's hear it one more time for our larger than life finalists. Now remember, all of those winners will take home a cool $1,000 for winning their category, and that is not bad. But now, 3 of them will take home grand prizes for this year's TwitchCon Cosplay contest. I'm going to call out first our third place winner. In third place, winning $4,000 is someone that I hope someone backstage will tell me very soon. But as we think about that, judges, it's really important to me to talk about how prizes influence the community and how they make it possible for people to continue cosplaying. Because a lot of people don't realize that cosplay isn't something that necessarily generates a lot of income, and it takes a lot of money to invest in it. So when we talk about a cosplay contest like this and a prize pool this large, what comes to your mind as you think about being cosplayers?
Materials, supplies.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, I was very fortunate last year. I was able to get a 3D printer, which has completely changed the way that I make my costumes now. And I really hope that this does something like that for everybody here, that they can change the way they build, that they can upgrade, they can continue to learn and try new things.
Yeah, I hope
That
so too.
machine that they always wanted to try, or
Yeah.
that material that they never got a chance to really experiment with. So it's wonderful.
Great. Well, let's enable some dreams to come true right now, because I have in front of me the winners. Now in third place, taking home that prize of $4,000, please welcome back to the stage, Modulus Props. Woo! Yes. Very good. Congratulations, Modulus Props, and thank you so much for your beautiful work. In second place, winning $8,000, it's Hikiko Mori. Congratulations to Kikomori. And thank you for all your hard work. And now our grand final first place winner, taking home $15,000. And the winner of the 2017 TwitchCon Cosplay Contest is SKS Props! Once again, congratulations to our champion, SKS Props! Once again, congratulations, and let's have one more huge round of applause for all of our cosplay finalists. What amazing work they did. If you want to see the finalists and other costumes, make sure you come to the cosplay meetup at 7 p.m. in front of the esports arena lobby. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all later. Thank you so much. Good night.